Okay, we are going to be working on our ABC name or word, ABC word collage assignment. And you are going to need to do this all in Photoshop. So when you open up Photoshop, we are going to create the new file and we're going to set up our canvas size or artboard size to what we need. The biggest thing is our resolution should be 300 pixels per inch or dots per inch. You use those interchangeably. And then we're going to have our width 12 inches, height 6 inches, our orientation going side to side. Okay, so you will need to fit all of your letters on this document. So before we start placing our images in here, one, it's good to have your images in a folder. And I have changed my image's name to be the indicated letter that I want to use. Okay, and I have 6 that I'm going to be using, Miss Riley. You need at least 6. Otherwise, you can do like first dot, last name, initial, or it could be a word as well too. Okay, but we're going to learn a different tool to use. So I could place them all on here and try to like size them to what I want. But we can use what is called our frame tool to build a frame and help plan how many letters we're going to have. So I have one frame right here. I'm going to copy, Control C and Control V that frame and do that as many times as I need. So let me check how many frames I have right now. Go back, let's do that, move them over, and you'll see Photoshop automatically will size them and make sure our spacing is correct. So I'm just going to view where they're at really quickly. I'm going to delete that. Okay, so I have 3 frames right now, but I can already tell I don't have enough room on here. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and make my life easier. So if I click and draw my selection box, I can then adjust them. And that's the middle right now. You can see that purple line just showed up. And then I have all 3 selected. So I'm going to copy and paste those 3 again. Oop. Copy, paste the 3. And then I'm going to click and drag. Make sure they're all nicely aligned. I missed the back one. Right there. That looks really good. So I know I can fit all of my letters inside. So remember, you need to have your letters in a folder on your desktop. And I'm going to click on my first frame and I'm going to drag my M into there. Now, my M is kind of not fitting right now. So if I hold Shift, I can shrink this. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see. Shrink it. And I can also, if I hold Shift, I can adjust it so it fits in there. Really nice and easy peasy. So I'm going to try to get the M to look more M-ish like. So that reads to me as an M. I'm going to click on my next frame and drag in my S right there. And then same thing. This one I might actually expand a little bit so it looks more S-like. And drag that in, play around, boom. That I like so far. Drag in my R, move that over, dig in that. And I know I'm going to have to do some work on my L. So if some of your letters, we need to do some adjustments, just hold up. I'll show you that in a second. So that I like. R-I. Ooh, I'm missing a letter. I need 2, 4, 6. I need one more. Okay, so I'm going to drag all of these. I just realized. And get one more frame in here. So that I like. Copy paste, one more frame. Make sure my alignment's good. We all mess up. So that's the beauty of Photoshop is I can easily make adjustments. Okay, let's drag in my L And then right away, if I zoom in, you can see my L is backwards. So what I can do to flip it is if I go up, I'm still selected into my picture. You can see it because it's the blue. If I go to edit, transform, I'm going to flip this horizontally. So now I read it as an L. And I might actually warp this a little bit too. And I'm going to make it bigger as well. I can get rid of this thing after the fact. Let me zoom out. That I'm liking. Okay, so I am going to transform this. So Control T. I can then take this and I can warp my photo to be more L-like if I want to. And I know some of your guys' letters might not look like the original, like what you're intending it to. So this is when we're going to really make it pop in the editing. So that I read that as an L now. Okay, let's bring in our E, and I know I need to do some adjustments to my E as well. Yep, like I'm going to rotate this. If I bring my mouse to any of the corners, you'll see my arrow becomes a bendy arrow, and then I can rotate this to fit in. Good. I'm gonna fill in my frame. Boom. And make sure my frame gets completely filled in. And I like it more in the middle. If I hold shift, I can stretch this. Remember, I can do what I need to. And to me, that's reading more like an E. I might even transform this a little bit and bring, I'm gonna zoom in. Actually, you know what? We're going to maybe go to our smudge tool, possibly. Yep, we need to rasterize our image. So I'll right click, rasterized it, smudge, go to my E. Which layers do I have selected? There we go. Got to go into my frame, it looks like. Okay, we'll merge that. Okay, so now my frame and my image are one, so I can edit that. And if you saw what I did, I just right clicked on my layer. I'll do it on the bottom one, and I merged the group or the layer. But I'm going to go back to my E, and then I want to make this a little bit bigger, and then I can move that a little bit and move that a little bit so it reads a little bit more like an E. And if I don't like the blur, which I kind of don't, I'm going to go to my selection tool, which, let's go quick selection tool. It's one of my favorite ones. And I'm going to copy and paste that, and then I can Command T, transform this little part individually so it doesn't affect my other area. And I can fix that up later on. I'm just going to keep moving that a little bit. I'm going to zoom out and check it. That to me reads more like an E, so I like that. Okay, let's go to my last frame, and I have my Y. Drag that in there. Definitely need to hold shift and adjust this so it reads more like a Y. And I might edit this to make it a little bit more Y-ish because this background I think is taking away from it. So I'm going to zoom in and some other tools you guys can use. So I'm on my Y. So there's a dodge and burn. The dodge looks like a lollipop. The burn looks like a hand. So you just have to think. Burning, you're going to make something darker. And dodging, you're going to make it lighter. So I'm going to right click, merge this group so it's one. And now I'm going to go in to just my background area maybe and try to darken this. We'll see if I want to darken or lighten. Maybe I'll lighten the trees. Redo merge. Yeah, let's lighten them. So up at the very tippity top, we have the shadows. I can click on my shadows, my midtones, or my highlights. So I'm going to do my shadows first. Make my brush bigger with bracket. I'm going to take up the exposure, which is like the intensity of it. And no matter what, because I'm only in this picture, like if I go over to my E, it's not going to affect it. So I'm just going to make it, have my tree trunk stand out a little bit. So I'm on my shadows. Let's go to my midtones and do that too. I'm just lightening that. Not already. Makes my Y stand out more. I'm going to do the same thing over on this side just so it's balanced. Doesn't stand out too much. Do it in the middle. And now to me that reads more like a Y. And we could do that with our other letters too. Which I want to make sure I really look at my road. So I'm going to go to my S, right click on the frame, merge group, and then let's make the road a little bit lighter as well too, just to make it stand out. So whenever you're trying to brush, make sure you get like a big brush to fill in the area really easily. You know what? I still maybe wanna, we're gonna have to undo that. Undo the frame merge. I want to make my S a little bit more S-y too. So let me double click on my picture. It's always kind of like a back and forth with your images as well. Zooming out, zooming in, checking to see how it's looking. That looks good to me. And then let's go in and yep, we're going to raster size and make this road lighter just so it stands out a bit more. And that I like. So you can either, so I'm going to scroll up to my very top layer. You can either leave your images in color, which if I go to my adjustments right here, this is an adjustment layer. So if I click on hue and saturation, you'll see it's on the very top. So it's really important that you click on your top layer. So our hue and saturation layer is on the most top layer. And I could bump up my colors if I really want to make it colorful. So that's one option you can do. I'm going to delete this really quickly and show you another thing that you can do. Just delete, yes. And then other option I can do is black or white if I want to do that too. And down here you can adjust the colors. So like my M, I made it darker by taking my blue down. I might want to take my lights up possibly. And you could play around that way to make your letters stand out more. But it's totally up to you if you want to do color or if you want to do black and white. I just wanted to show you both options, but it should be easy to read your letters. A good thing for you to do is have somebody check your word or your name to see if they can figure it out, which I think this is pretty good. I might go in and just adjust this a little bit more, make it a little bit more skinnier. That I like. So it's always an adjustment. Boom. Miss Riley, here we go. When we're done, file, save as, save a PDF of it, and then I'm going to do ABC name collage, put it on my desktop, and you are good to submit. So let me know if you need if you need help with any of your issues of your letters. I can show you some things, but it should be a fun thing.